We begin with the U.S. Central Bank deciding on yet another rate hike, raising its key interest rate by 25 basis points. This as taming inflation still remains the country's priority, despite looming fears of a banking crisis. Our economic correspondent Shin Ha-young has our top story.
The U.S. Federal Reserve raised its interest rates by 25 basis points on Wednesday, taking another so-called baby step. This marks the 10th consecutive rate hike since March last year. And with the Fed's move, the U.S. benchmark interest rate jumped to the 5% to 5.25% range, the highest since 2007. The Fed's efforts to tame inflation come despite ongoing concerns about recent bank failures and follow the takeover of First Republic Bank by banking giant JPMorgan Chase. According to the central bank, the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient.
Inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year. Nonetheless, inflation pressures continue to run high, and the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go.
All eyes were on the FOMC, with watchers wondering if the Fed would pivot rates, as it's been widely noted that rates have reached close to their peak. However, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell responded to the question of whether the central bank will pause its monetary tightening in June, saying there was no decision yet, but the committee will consider the impact of tightened monetary policy on economic activity and inflation, as well as financial developments. But he did hint at a possible pause in the monetary tightening cycle.
In the statement from March, we had a sentence that said the committee anticipates that some additional policy firming may be appropriate. That sentence is not in the statement anymore. That's a meaningful change, that we're no longer saying that we anticipate.
Meanwhile, despite the expected rate hike, U.S. stocks closed lower on Wednesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.8%, while the S&P 500 slipped 0.7%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq lost 0.46%. The falls are attributed to the Fed not clearly announcing the direction of its future monetary policy, which raised concerns that it may not begin cutting interest rates soon. Shin Ha-young, Arirang News.